Welcome to Realtors Roulette. Join Nichole, Elisha, and John as they uncover untold stories, insider tips, and hidden truths about real estate. Get ready to enjoy this episode coming to you from the beautiful Qu'Appelle Valley in Saskatchewan.
Welcome to our podcast, Realtors Roulette. I'm here today with John and Nichole, and we're here to talk about what happens when buying isn't working. Maybe it's time to build.
Hey, everybody. We're so glad that you took some time off to listen to our podcast this morning or afternoon, especially if you're feeling stuck in today's market. You've looked at some homes and looking for other options. So let's take a look.
Yeah, it's pretty tough in the market right now. Homes are selling fast, prices are up, and inventory is super, super low. We only have a handful of houses in a lot of the markets that we're dealing with right now. So a lot of buyers are burnt out from making offer after offer. So we're kind of suggesting another solution today for maybe thinking about building instead of buying something that's currently used.
If you can't find what you want, maybe it's time to build one.
You know what? We get this question a lot. Is now really the time to build? And the answer for a lot of people is yes. Like if you've been looking and you've been in the market for a while, yeah, now is probably the time.
And I think too, like I know I have built a lot of houses myself because I am very picky. But yeah, if maybe there's not something on the market. Maybe you're going into a smaller town where there isn't a whole bunch of newer homes recirculating. So maybe you're like, this is where I want to be, but I'm just not seeing what I want. So it's maybe just time to look at a build and see what options you have that way. And we are finding that a lot of people are pushing out into some of the smaller towns just because of lot value alone. So maybe they have a budget, but it doesn't suit the Pilot Butte market, but they could get what they want in the McLean market due to lot values being less. So that's just something that we're trying to educate people on today if you really want a new home.
Yeah, it's something that people don't always realize. When you build, you're not just buying a home, you're designing your lifestyle. You get to choose the layout, finishes, and features that matter most to you.
So next is kind of the process of building and kind of what happens.
Once we identify the location, we'll talk about what fits your needs and what you're looking for, whether you want something semi-custom or fully custom.
Yeah, and then we can suggest, a couple builders that you can go in, basically get a quote from, what kind of the time frame would look like and when you would start, and then basically what to do in terms of financing when it comes to a builder's mortgage.
Yeah, financing isn't as scary as people think. We'll walk you through how construction loans work, and we can connect you with lenders who are specializing in these construction loans.
Yeah, so the first step is kind of to figure out what lot you want, and then, like I said, go to your builder and get them to give you a quote of what that's going to look like in the end result. And again, everything is based on basically allowances, right? So if you choose to go put a fireplace in after the quote's given to you, obviously that's going to go up. If you have a $10,000 flooring allowance, but you're like me and you want to spend $20,000 on some hardwood you just love, it's going to go up, right? So obviously you get that initial quote, but if you aren't staying in your allowances, there would be additional costs. And I've seen people that have gone under their allowances and had a cheaper build, so it can work both ways.
And honestly, once you get past the scariness, I don't know if that's the anxiety of building a new house, it's pretty fun for when you watch, the hole being dug to the walls getting erected and seeing it all come together. It really is, it's an amazing process. And, but that, like Elisha said, that initial first punch, it's scary. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I finance it? And who do I,
Well, we've helped lots of clients from maybe being frustrated home shoppers to proud new home builders. We can share a few of our stories.
Well, and I think every realtor has, probably close to the same stories. But, if you're somebody that's been outbid or you've looked at, the home and you've laid in bed and you said, this is exactly where we want to raise our children and whatever else. And the next morning you found out that you got outbid, maybe that building is a step for you for sure.
One of the things I always tell my clients that are looking to build versus used, if you are in the market and you do have the budget to build, chances are you're going to build something and you're not going to be doing any renovations for probably 10 years because everything's brand new. Maybe you're finishing your basement, maybe you're doing landscaping, maybe you're putting up a fence, but there's all those big ticket items that you don't have to worry about: shingles, windows, hot water tank, furnace. And so I know for myself, we've been in our home 13 years now and we're just starting to put so much money into it every year because things are starting to deteriorate or they need upgrades, right? So I always say to people, like, if you take that in the initial punch, you might pay more for the new build, but you have that kind of 10-year span where really you shouldn't be doing a lot unless, like I said, you need landscaping or decide you want to finish your basement and it wasn't in your contract. So you have to think of that too. There is some savings. You're paying more up front, but you are saving, for those initial 10 years right off the hop.
I think one of our previous podcasts, I think we touched on that and said, what are our budgetary needs for those things, exactly what you talked about, like from whatever, water heaters to flooring to, wanting to update your cabinets over, that 10 or 15. And, let's face it, you're going to live in a 25-year house, you're going to do something to it.
Well, and there's things too that happen that are out of your control. I'm on an acreage, and this year my well pump wet, my sump pump wet, my septic pump wet, my furnace wet, my hot water tank, and my water softener, all things that I need to survive. It's not like a kitchen, so I had to replace those versus if I would have just built a house, I would have still had some kind of warranty on those. So it was just bad luck year for Nikki, but everything broke all at once.
Yeah, it sounds like building can really give you some peace of mind that you're going to have a product that is customized to your needs and you're going to be happy with your product for 10 plus years before you have to spend any more money on upgrades.
And I had a couple just this last year and they're kind of going into retirement. And I said, hey, I think, for you guys, a new build is perfect, right? Because you're going to have 10 years of where you're not thinking about anything. And then maybe by that time, maybe they're ready to sell and downsize and they haven't done anything besides the landscaping they wanted to do. They're just going to move in and live.
I just want to, sorry, Elisha. I just want to roll back to what Nikki said there. And I had clients this a few years back and they were overwhelmed by the building process. But when they say they give you allowances, make sure that those allowances are equated through all the builders, if you're looking at 2 different builders or 3 different builders, ask, talk to us as your first point of contact and, ask for references. Builders, the reputable builders are out there. They have no problem sharing what they're doing, testimonials from clients and so forth.
And certainly we can help you out with those quotes and help you review them and understand that you're comparing apples and apples.
100%, yeah.
And we're happy to help you with a site evaluation or a strategy session to kind of get you on the right track.
And building, it takes planning and you have to really think about it, but there's lots of builders out there too. I know that offer somebody in-house that basically, okay, we're going to the flooring store today to picking out paint. Like there's somebody there to guide you through it. So I think a lot of people are overwhelmed because they don't understand the process. But once they do and they've built once and they've built with someone that they've had a good rapport with, they're like, you know what, this was actually not.
It wasn't a fight. It wasn't, and they have a beautiful house in the end that they can raise their family and feel, confident in ownership for sure.
Yeah. If you're ready to break out of the buying rut and build the home you really want, we'd love to connect with you.
And we do have a lot of lots right now too that we could definitely steer you in the right direction. So there is a lot availability where maybe there's not used homes right now as much, but there is a lot availability right now. So that's nice. So if you are thinking of building, there is actually lots to be purchased.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. There was a shorter segment. We just wanted to say if you're having anxiety or you're looking for a different alternative, check us out. Look us out on Instagram or Facebook. Give the office a call. Talk to one of us. Come in for a meeting for sure.
Yep. Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and remember, you don't have to find your dream home. You can build it.
Thanks, everybody. Have
Cheers, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Authentic Realty's podcast. Follow, review, and share this episode to spread the knowledge. To connect with your favorite local realtors, call 306-695-HOME.